Most people overcomplicate the process of making money online, and it's crazy to me that people don't understand that with the right guidance, somebody with zero experience can go from nothing to be taking home 8 to 12 grand so in profit per month. And they can't do it themselves if they had zero experience, but with the right method they could easily do that. And so that's what I'm going to cover in this video right now. Hopefully it makes it a bit more clear in your head on how you can actually go about making this type of money, because there's not much on YouTube telling you how much to do it right now and actually how to do it. So even if you have just a laptop, it's as simple as that, and a bit of common sense, then I would highly recommend you watch this video, because it could be the difference of your life, living your life being broke, and living your life with financial abundance, doing whatever you want. So yeah, stick around to the end of the video, because there's going to be some real golden nuggets in here that I think you can really take on board and implement for yourself. So if you've clicked on this video, it probably means that you want to make money in a short period of time. I'm the perfect person to speak to, because I've actually been through about 6 businesses, different models, online businesses, all the ones that you can possibly think of, Iman Gatzi's model, all of these ones. And if you don't want to be a part of that hustle culture and you want to work smarter to make this money in a shorter period of time, then I would not start a marketing agency. I started one and it costed me about 2 years of my life. And the problem with the marketing agency is that I would send probably about 2,000 emails per week. And I would send this to business owners and CEOs, marketing directors, things like that, because I wanted to sell my service. By the time I had sent probably 50,000 emails, I was at the point where I had, 2 solid clients. I had 2 clients and they were paying me each about 3k pounds per month. And I thought, this is great. I have financial freedom. I'm making about 7k per month and I can make this more. I just got to send another 50,000 emails. Now the problem with that was that I essentially was a slave to these clients, because I had to make a ridiculously high value offer. And I said to them, I make you 30 videos for your TikTok page and I guarantee you it goes 1 million views. And that's what I presented them with. And so I had to deliver on this promise. And so I was relentlessly working every single day. And the problem was that because it was 3k, I couldn't outsource this. I had to do it all myself. And if I didn't charge this low price, I would have just been left in the saturated market like it already is. And I had to make this ridiculously good offer, because otherwise I just couldn't have got clients. It took me that long anyway. So you can see where this is going. So it became miserable for me. Even though I had testimonials, I still couldn't sign the clients. And, I was an employee. It was like I was fucking working at Wall Street. I was literally on that phone every single day recording these videos for this company. And it was hustle culture. And that's not what we want. So that's a mistake that I made that I don't think that you should particularly make. Now, the next route that you could go is that you could go into e-commerce. Now, there's a few routes that you could go with this. You could go with Amazon, or you could go with eBay. And both of these I've tried, by the way. Everything that I'm saying in this video I've already tried. Essentially what I found with Amazon especially is that I was making about £1 profit per item that I would sell. Now this is the problem with these platforms. Now you can make a shit ton of money with it, don't get me wrong. But I think the most common factor with all of these options that I've just stated is that they are heavily saturated, and it's becoming more and more difficult to enter into these platforms and start selling your own thing. And
and join markets where there's massive players and you can't really differentiate yourself. That's the problem. Actually, technically, there's nothing really that you could offer that in, say, a marketing agency or say on Amazon that people would be on their knees begging for, because the top guys are already selling that. So the next route, which is still in e-commerce, is what I do, and that's Shopify dropshipping. Now, it depends on how you do this. So with dropshipping, you could go the route of selling a product that is just £1 for the cost of goods. So it costs you £1 to source that, to get that product and send it to the customer, and you're going to sell it for £40. Or if it's £2, £3, £4, £5, same thing. So you're selling a very, very low value item, and you're selling it for a decent markup. Now, the problem and the mistake that people make with this method is when they ship out the products, the quality is going to be terrible. And this thing exactly happened with me. And it wasn't £1 product. The product was £15. The product was £15, and it was just a pair of trousers, £15 for the cost of goods. I was like, okay, well, we can sell these trousers to these men, and maybe because they're selling like crazy, because I'd launched the ad, it went crazy, maybe that I can sell this and the quality is good. I didn't check the quality, I didn't do any of that. And this way of doing it, no quality checks, no asking the supplier of what does the product look like, is basically just going to crumble. It's going to crumble your business. And you might have made some money in the initial stage, but this way of dropshipping is, well, I'll tell you what happened to me. So I sold that product, and I sold thousands of that product. I then got loads of people calling up their banks because the product was trash. It was like a velvety material. No one liked the product. And they'd call their banks and say, this is not what I ordered because it didn't really match up with the image. This is not what I ordered, and the product is crap. I just can't wear this. It's a scam. Basically, they thought that I was a scam because I hadn't done a quality check. And because of this, I'll show you what happened. So Shopify, they messaged me and they said, hey Jimmy, we've put a 100% hold on your store. And there was about 20 grand in there. And that was not good. That was really not good. And it was because people were calling up their banks and they were saying it wasn't the right product. So that's one mistake that you should definitely not fall into that trap. Now, if you were to sell a product that the cost of goods from China is about $20 to $30, this gives you plenty of margin. So you could sell this product at $150 to $200. And you're probably thinking, well, how can I sell that for so much money when it's just so cheap? Well, that's because this is China price. This is, say if you're selling to the USA, this is the US price. And there's a big difference between the qualities here. And that's why Louis Vuitton and all these big brands, they sell with such huge markups because they're getting it from countries like China or Bangladesh, where the prices are a lot cheaper. And it doesn't matter what product it is, technology, clothing, sunglasses, whatever it is. And so the reason that you can sell at these big prices is because a product that sells for $20 or $30 in this country here is that the quality is going to be high, because most of the products are about $5. So the quality is going to be very high, and then you're able to price it at this point because the customers will perceive the product very, very highly. There's only one problem with that. So what is actually the problem with selling a high value item? Well, if you're selling a high value item, people are going to think that what they're getting is high value. So when you run your advertising to the website, which you're going to sell your customers to, you're not going to be able to make those massive profit margins of $150 if they can't trust your website. So you're going to use AI, platforms like Ideogram. I think that's what it's called. That's how you spell it anyway. And you're just going to generate AI images of the niche that you're selling in. And this is going to give your website a degree of huge trust. And that's essentially all that matters now. Because most dropshippers and most people in this online business, and that's why for them it's going to be hard to make 8K in a ridiculously short period of time, because they're selling all of these different products, like shoes for men, and then they're selling gadgets on the same store, and they're using, I don't know if you know about a platform called Pitfalls, and it's basically where you just get these shitty stock images, which every single dropshipper uses. And it's so simple, and I don't know how people don't understand this, but all you need to do is differentiate yourself from these people by using AI, using platforms like Ideogram, and making your website look like a brand. You can literally go to a competitor in your niche, just save their image, if it's like a model or whatever it is, and you give it to Ideogram, and there's a feature where it says you can remix it, and it will literally make the same image but look even better than that image. And that can go straight on your Shopify website. So that is how you differentiate yourself. And if you do it that way, you can have really high value products, which means that they have better quality, customers are happier, you get good reviews, you have a happy payment processor, you're not struggling with loads of chargebacks, and then you can start building a real brand that scales to 10, 20K, 30K revenue per day. So what turned into a get rich quick scheme has now turned into a brand which you're actually thinking about selling in, say, 5 years, because you've just made something look like a brand. And actually you could buy stock for these products at some point and create a real brand out of it. But this is where you start. You start with AI. You start with AI. You don't go to Pixels. Just please do not go to Pixels wherever you do. Using this way of dropshipping compared to any other business model that I've tried personally can seriously excel your growth, because January this year we did 150K revenue. February we did 250K. And it was all because I saw what other dropshippers were doing, and then I just did the complete opposite. I did a whole 180. I don't know if that's a 180 simple. I did a whole 180, and I did the complete opposite. And I made myself look like a brand. I built the trust with customers, and building trust with customers is not only just, using branded images. There's a lot more that comes with that. And so I don't want you to make this mistake. It's very easy just to think, yeah, I can start selling my product if I just put some AI branded images on there. But it's not the case. You need other things. And by the way, if you need help with any of this, I'll have a link in the description where you can just book in a call with me, because it's exactly what I do. And we can just see if I can help you out. But anyways, back to my point. To sell these high value products, like I said, you need to increase their perception of value. So you need reviews all over the product page and all over the website. You can put this just under your product image. You can put this at the bottom of your product page, but you want to use images. You want to make sure that everything is dialed in, because with this, it's going to really increase your conversion rate. And the whole point of this all is just so that when the customers land on the page, they're way more likely to buy from you than to some other dropshipper who just has a very simple landing page and not really anything on it, no trust pointers, no nothing. You can get branded packaging for your, there's your logo. You can make it, build that trust over time, so that you're just not making one quick buck and you're making more sales every single time. You can do email flows, that actually build trust. You can send emails to them. And it's not just saying shop now, buy now. It's actually giving them a story, and it's giving them the perception that you've been around for years. So people who haven't bought now want to buy, because they think from the story you've just given them, they think that, wow, okay, they're a real brand. You can make this amount of money in a very short period of time But you just need the right processes. Like I said, like it's not going to be easy if you don't know what you're doing. So get started.